killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too. Epstein was the key to our evil Russian operations, but no one will ever know, because the truth dies here. Killed Jeffrey Epstein, maybe the last good man! And now you're charged!
Damn people, AI. Well, AI is getting absolutely crazy. Last week it's a music video. This week it's a whole movie. Soon there's going to be games. Then there's so much things going on with AI. We're going to be discussing this today. And everyone else, welcome back to Block Desk News. And tonight we're going to be reading not just the headlines. We're going to be connecting everything, including AI, liquidity, and politics, capital flow, and also we're going to be discussing our new segment that we have, which is the One Piece TCG and the other TCGs. We had the most craziest week this week. We literally got over 25,000 views regarding the pre-release of the One Piece TCG. We got so many messages from you, so thank you for the support. And I found some websites for all of you where you can actually find where to pre-order the One Piece TCG. So get ready for all of that and more today with Block Desk News. And yeah, there's a lot of things to discuss. We're going to be discussing about the reforms in Congress, Nvidia earnings, AI bots sending $250,000, solo developers building government-level infrastructure with AI now, US debt and liquidity, which is a key metric for us to look out for. And finally, we're going to be discussing the OP-17 set, which is ready for pre-order right now. But to kick things off, I want to discuss what's going on in Congress. And there's a big shift in reform, and Trump is proposing a ban on insider trading in Congress. Let's have a look at the video first to see what's up.
The typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year, as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Nancy Pelosi, yeah. So guys, look, at the surface, this update sounds so obvious, does it not? But politicians should not have trade privileges and information and be able to trade upon that information. It's pure corruption. So let's zoom out of this. For decades, the markets have operated knowing policy markets had information advantage. So we all know the government officials have an information advantage. So if Congress is officially restricted from trading individual stocks, there are two things which are going to happen. First, public trust improves. And second of all, information asymmetry shrinks. Now, this is where the deeper layer comes in. When you remove insider advantage from individuals, power does not disappear. It shifts. It shifts to us, the retail investors. Capital influence may concentrate further into institutions, lobby groups, and large funds. And I personally think lobbying is absolutely dirty work, shouldn't be allowed in the government at all. And it basically controls our day-to-day lives. Because companies, if you have a company which has enough money, you can pay for somebody in Congress to pass a law which is going to benefit you as the company, not people in the world, people who are basically supporting your company by buying the goods or the services it provides. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this change is going to put the power back into our hands, into the investors, and it will give market clarity for investors and retail buyers. Foreign capital will much prefer a more rule-based system. So this change should be around all over the world, not just in America. It should be in the UK, it should be in Africa, it should be in Europe, and it should be in America. So in the long term, reform improves credibility. Short-term rule changes create volatility. So there's going to be some volatility happening here. As you can see, there's a lot of volatility this week in the market. We will discuss that as well today. So what does this mean for you as an investor? What you need to be looking out for right now is defense stocks like Lockheed and Martin and Raytheon. The volatility is going to be crazy because people who are already in those stocks, they're going to be scared of this. Because the only reason these companies have money is because governments keep on going to war with each other. And the moment that is removed, that incentive is removed, and lobbying and insider trading is removed, these companies will plummet down. Energy and pharma may see repositioning, which is definitely going to happen. It's about time. And long-term, broader US index ETFs will remain strong as a play, as a strong play. There was one more. There's one more update in regards to US
on Monday
politics.
warned countries against backing away from recently negotiated trade deals with the U.S.
Right.
This follows the Supreme Court decision Friday to strike down his emergency tariffs. Trump said he would hit them with much higher duties.
I'm only going to hope we're all going to be
on
rich
social
this
media,
year, mate.
he said, quote, any country
But
that
this
wants
is
to
what's
play
going on right
games
now.
with the ridiculous
The Supreme Court
decision,
has
especially
recently
those
ruled
that have
out
ripped off
Trump's
the USA
tariffs
for years
to
and even
basically be
decades.
illegal. And this is what you're seeing in this video as of now. And what he's saying is that any country that decides to go with the Supreme Court decision will be met with harsher tariffs. And what's the outcome as of today from the tariff wars is that every country is going to get 10% tariff from the US. And the reason I keep on bringing this up week and week again is because these tariffs, they actually affect the global economy and the crypto market and the stock market in such a heavy way that every week you're seeing these manipulating pump and dumps. Literally, Bitcoin recently this week on the 23rd, it hit under $65,000. Nobody wants to see Bitcoin under 65, do they? No, I don't. But of course, there was a saving grace, and now we're seeing a small little pump. We saw a small little move as of recent. And of course, this was because of Nvidia. Nvidia literally carrying the whole market, the whole world, the whole industry, the whole AI sector on its back. So the Nvidia earnings report just came out, literally, I think it was like under 20 hours ago. And the entire AI narrative is basically steamrolling forward because their report was better than expected. So like we discussed last week, data-centered, hyperscale spending, GPU demand, GPU companies, and other companies which support data centers, those companies are blowing up at the moment, and so is crypto. The whole stock is, the whole industry, like the whole world, Bitcoin, crypto stocks, everything is going up in the past 20 hours just because of this announcement. So the AI expansion, I guess, thesis, it continues as of now. And Nvidia is holding it all on its back. So what does this mean for you? At the moment, because Nvidia beat the reports, what you need to consider is momentum, continuation from Nvidia, of course. Look at AI linked stocks, so like AMD, Microsoft, and Broadcom. Those are the three top stocks to be looking at right now in the short term. And that is basically, yeah, what's going on. And it's absolutely crazy how one company supports the whole AI agenda, and it's moving completely away from gaming, as many of you have seen, right? The whole gaming, they're going to stop releasing NVDA gaming cards, which is absolutely crazy to think of. And because they're putting all that, all those graphics chips and whatever they develop into AI centers. And that's what you need to be looking out for and investing into. So as mentioned, there's been a lot of things that's been happening in AI, and OpenClaw has actually banned basically all crypto talk within this Discord servers because there's been issues happening. And I'm sure many of you saw what happened with the AI bot called Claude AI. So this is an AI bot. I'm going to send you the link to the profile on X. And they sent somebody roughly $250,000. That's the link to the X. $250,000 in tokens by accident because somebody asked it to send it. I'm not kidding. Like, my personal opinion is that this is not true. So anyone who's been looking at this, do be wary about this. This might be a marketing campaign, but this AI agent executed a transaction, and it was given the power to manage wallets, execute transactions, and control capital. And this is what these Claude agents basically do. What's up, mate? How you doing? Hope you're well. So without human latency, if this is real, this is a real execution that happened, and somebody received around $250,000 of meme stock holdings. I personally think this was a marketing campaign, so do keep an eye out for that, because there was a token launch called Lobstar, and that's the token that is sent. So news are there's just so much manipulation going on in the market at the moment. I'm sure many of you heard also about Claude AI. It just raised $15 billion from the cybersecurity market. And the reason is because now, as many of you know, when you launch a crypto project, you need to basically give it an audit before you can take it to the market. And usually you should audit it there via a third party. So you want another company to audit it. And if you have a big project like let's say a launchpad or a DeFi protocol, it's going to cost you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to actually audit that with a third party. And what they've developed now is this AI agent, this tool, this Claude AI that audits smart contracts and protocols and blockchains and anything that you want. It audits it for you at a fraction of the price. So now, literally, like, being a developer now must be extremely scary because AI is going to take over development. To write this code, it takes AI a few minutes. For a human, it's going to take months. So AI is literally taking over so many industries, and of course, crypto industry is at the top of it, and wiping out $15 billion of the face of the market within 1 week is absolute insanity, right? Glad to see everyone here, by the way. Welcome back, everybody. Always good to see regular faces. There's been also a developer, so going forward with what I just said about people being able to use AI to develop things, and I just want you to see what this dude has developed. So this is a dev that built a CIA level surveillance dashboard, all using AI. So he built a tracking system using Claude and Gemini. So he combined two AIs, made them help him out. And this infrastructure that governments would pay, Palantir millions of dollars to develop. And this is a single individual. One person has developed this. Look at this. This is a multi-million, $100 million surveillance tool, basically. So AI is lowering barriers to infrastructure development, data systems, back-end engineering, and real-time analytics, which is absolutely crazy to see. And I'm sure that we're going to see much more examples of this happening. and individuals basically starting to build their own platforms without developers. And we're going to see this evolve into crypto, and we're going to see a lot of things which are going to basically fuck up. We're definitely going to see that, but there's going to be hopefully some good projects, which is what we're basically waiting for the past 4 years. So what does this mean for you as an investor? All this AI updates and the good and the bad that's happening. So enterprise consulting firms face long-term margin risks. Government tech contractors could face pricing pressure. Like I said, developers, contractors, they're going to start feeling the pressure. AI is going to start taking their jobs. And who do you trust? Because humans still build the AI tools, right? So who can you really trust in this? In hiring, especially when it comes to governments, they can't hire for shit. We all know this. Nvidia still benefits from AI democratization. Long-term bullish on compute providers, cautious on legacy consulting firms. So do not short innovation. That's the key word, the key saying I would say. Understand which layer captures value. And then hardware infrastructure win first. Like I said, you can look into silver. You can look into copper. You can look into cooling systems for AI infrastructure. Those companies are going to come out at top right now because those companies can't be replaced by AI and they're needed by AI. And if the government and if Nvidia, one of the biggest companies in the world, if it's going to go into the AI sector, then we might as well invest in the infrastructure of it and make money. Why are we sitting around and waiting for a Bitcoin bull market when we can make money right now by investing in the infrastructure, by buying One Piece pre-orders? That's what we're here for. That's what we built this channel for. And just a last thing, just to talk about US debt. I think all of us have spoken about this for quite a while. And US debt is rising. It's still rising, even though the government has been saying it'll stop. It's rising, and the debt pressure is increasing. And historically, it's inflating money. It expands liquidity, and it's avoiding austerity. Right. So what the plan? What is the plan to do this? How is the U.S. government looking to remove this debt? And they're looking to do it through crypto. So they're going to announce the Bitcoin reserve to the world, which is what most governments are doing. They're going to increase the national debt to buy Bitcoin with Tether. Right? So they're going to use this fake money, which can be minted continuously. And do you know what Tether does? Just so you understand how it creates this value. Tether buys US debt. It buys US debt. And then it buys Bitcoin. So it mints more Tether when it buys US debt. So it holds something that can mint more Tether. And then more Tether is used to buy Bitcoin and pump the market. And then what happens after most of the debt or a big chunk of the debt is gone via that? You dump the market. You dump crypto. And that's why. Do you know what you're seeing right now? I've never seen in my life before like this, that when institutional buying for crypto and for Bitcoin is so high, and retail interest and fear and greed is so low. People on retail are scared. Like the amount of searches that are on Google right now saying, is Bitcoin dead? Is the crypto industry dead? It's higher than 2022, which is the peak of that market, which was the peak of the bear market. And we're seeing that right now. So what does this tell you, basically? It's that institutions are buying and the people are planning for a change in the 4-year cycle. So we all know about the 4-year cycle and it's over. We're through it. It's done. We are in a bear market, but the alt season hasn't started. The super cycle hasn't started. And this is what it's called. It's called the liquidity cycle. So we are potentially going to be in a bear market with an incredibly high liquidity cycle market. So we're going to see a lot of liquidity and a lot of projects making a lot of money and a lot of people making a lot of money. But it's not going to look like that when it comes to Bitcoin and the main coins, basically, like Ethereum, etc. So we might potentially see a liquidity market into new projects very, very soon, as I keep on saying, in the midterms. So if liquidity expands, it's bullish for Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, because people will initially buy that. And it's bullish for high beta tech stocks as well, which is what I'm discussing now. Anything that's tech related like Nvidia and any of these data centers, etc., very bullish for that. So consider altcoin season, which could potentially come through all of that. But if liquidity tightens, if this plan doesn't go into fruition, which it might not, because people get bored, people move on, right? They move on, they sell their Bitcoin. And yeah, and then they dump, and then this whole liquidity cycle might not even come. So in the long term, Bitcoin is obviously a good macro liquidity asset to have. It's a good investment. We're going to see another cycle in 4 years. For the time being, this is a really tricky part, and it's a lot of moving gears. As you can see, every week we talk about this, we discuss it, but every week there's a little or a big change that changes the whole direction of the market completely. And we're seeing this week. Nvidia stock, the report was higher than we thought, and we're seeing a nice bullish momentum for Bitcoin. But as you can see, it's overbought, right? Again. And the greed index is not changing, so we're not really seeing the liquidity enter the market. The market cap is at 1.37 trillion. It should be over 2 million easily. So that's it for this week. I think it's been a good rant. I hope you guys enjoyed. And now we're going to get into what people have been really waiting for this week quite a lot. And that is the TCG segment that we have every week now. And I was looking at this. In investment returns per month, this one, investing into Goku products, Pikachu, Snorlax, basically Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, which we will discuss also. It's much higher return of investments than, as you can see here, look at this. It's a much higher return of investments than gold and the stock market. So a lot of you guys have been asking, where do I pre-order? Where do I pre-order the One Piece TCG? Well, here it is. I found some websites for you. As many of you wanted to know, we had so many messages asking, where do I pre-order the One Piece TCG? And this is one of the websites in America. So it really depends where you are living at the moment. That is where you can pre-order. What I recommend is obviously doing your own research. ToyWiz is an extremely popular place to pre-order. And as you can see, one box is already $425 for one box. This isn't the case. This is a box. And it's releasing in September. This is, remember last week, this was around like $200. Since I've made the video, the pre-order prices have gone up. I'm telling you, the OP-17 is going to be one of the biggest releases in the OP scene. There's another website. This one, you can order it for the Asia region, and I think for Europe as well. Here's another pre-order link. And this is also for the OP-17. These ones are for, this is like $100, but this is Japanese. So obviously the English one is going to be a bit more expensive. This is the Japanese one. So I hope that really helps. We had so many messages of people asking for this. So this is a set which is going to be the anniversary set for the One Piece TCG. This has only happened like 3 or 4 times. So this is literally like the crypto cycle happening every 4 years. This is happening right now in One Piece. And also what is happening is Dragon Ball Z, the card game, is releasing the Fusion World. It's called FB09. And that is a new set coming in March. This is literally next month. And they're releasing a new rarity in cards. And this is going to be a great money maker as well. I highly recommend you look at these pre-orders. You can use this website I've just sent you also. So the toywiz.com, you can use that to pre-order your Dragon Ball Z Fusion FB09 sets. These sets are going to sell out very quick. Also, the same as the OP-17 sets, and I highly recommend you check them out. There's new rarities, and these are great as a collectible to resell if you want to open the packs and be a complete degen. But I highly recommend don't open the packs, pre-order the boxes, and then resell them on the market within 3, 4, or 5 months. You will definitely make a profit. There's always going to be somebody looking for them, and usually what you're going to see within 3 to 6 months, they stop printing sets if they're not popular. If they're popular, it's like 1 year. So sealed collectibles themselves, they become very scarce because everybody wants to open the products. And there's a cultural demand and allocation cycles which come in a quarterly sort of, like a cycle, let's say. There's no Fed policy on this, so you can buy and sell this online without being involved with the Feds. When they print runs are limited, demand exceeds supply. This is what you're going to see with these OP. Look, it's $429 for a box on a pre-order. It's it's absolutely crazy. This is coming out in September, so the scarcity for these products is insane. And I'm telling you, like, if you're investing in this, there will be profits to be made. There's no financial advice in this, but hey man, I'm making money. As you can see, I'm selling them myself. I'm buying and selling One Piece trading cards. I'm doing it with Pokemon, and it's making money. Especially in the market like this, you need other avenues. That's why in the show we have different avenues that we discuss with you and help you find ways to basically make money. So what this means for you as an investor, there's secure pre-orders allocations, which I've shared with you. If you got any other questions, you can comment down in this video below and we'll help you find some pre-orders for you. So just leave a comment on the main YouTube video at Blockdesk on YouTube. You can avoid overpaying if you pre-order and if you do it right. Right now it is a little bit expensive, but I'm telling you, these boxes are going to be worth 500 easily when they're on the market, easily, especially the English ones. Make sure it's the English ones. And you treat it as diversification, right? This is a way to diversify your portfolio. The best strategy is to buy small allocations and hold it long term. This is the same with everything else. But of course, if you want to make some quick money, you can buy, one box for 30 and then sell it for 500, 700 a box, 70 a box. You can buy like 10 and make $1,000, right? If you have the money to do so. So to close up, before we get into Super DApp, we have some updates on Super DApp as well. Lots of things going on. But to close up tonight, there's not been a random speech. Everything is coming together. Everything that we've been discussing basically is coming together. It's restricted to US citizens only. No, is the website restricted? If it is, please try the other one that I sent to Game Room Plaza. That one should not be restricted. And I'm personally at the moment in Asia, and it's not restricted only to the US, so it should work. If not, I highly recommend doing some of your own research as well and asking ChatGPT for trusted resellers, because that's what you want to find. You want to find resellers. Maybe go to your local card shop or just look online for resellers. There are some on Facebook, which are very difficult to find good ones, but it is possible. Do ask us, do leave a comment on the video below and we can try and help you. So as I said, look, everything isn't just a ramble. Everything does connect around the world, from the news that you heard about what Trump is saying about Congress not being able to invest into stocks, about Nvidia updates, about AI updates. It's all together. Political reform, AI concentration, autonomous execution, capability compression, liquidity mechanics, alternate asset diversification. All of this is important if you want to become rich, if you want to have an extra income, and if you just want to have money for you and your family on the side. It's important to know this, and that's what we are bringing to you. And investors who win are not the ones who are the fastest. They are the ones who understand this structure and how the world reacts to it. This is why we never really say go buy this exactly. We talk about specific markets and industries and sometimes stocks, but we don't tell you, hey, we don't partner up with projects. We don't show you no bullshit. So this is very important. So if you do like this content, do subscribe and yeah, show us support by leaving a like. The first time I think we asked for that. So thanks for everyone who's here. Moving on to SuperDApp. So SuperDApp is moving forward with its development of the AI launcher, AI agent token launcher. You will soon be able to launch your own tokens on Roblox, and then on Base, and then also on ZK Sys, which is extremely exciting. And also, we're moving forward with the bridge, and a lot of you asked us, when is this going to be ready? When will you be able to trade on Base? When will Super Token move on to Base? And I'm happy to say it's going to be most likely next month. I have asked the developers, they are confident it's going to be next month, so don't hold me to it. This is what I've heard. So hopefully we're going to have the bridge ready, we're going to have the liquidity ready, and all of you are going to be able to move your super tokens onto Base. It's going to be a liquid market, and we're finally going to be able to promote the token as well, so other people can find SuperDApp and hopefully grow our communities through partnerships, through business development, which I'm going to be focusing on as well. So good things to come next month. When it comes to actual deployments in SuperDApp and bug fixes, we have put that aside because we want to create liquidity and put Super Token on a DEX, which is our main focus and main priority at the moment. So yeah, I'm hoping next week we're going to have an exact day, maybe the week after, but for now we are focusing on the bridge. Then the AI agent will launch before the end of next month as well, and we're all going to be able to start launching tokens, and we're going to do this live. Because I have a group called SysWarp, and it's going to be the first meme token which is going to be on ZK Sys, and we're going to do a trial run on Roblox. So anyone who's live is going to receive free tokens from myself as a test run as well. So that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the show. This has been Edward, and we have discussed quite a lot. And next week, we're going to be back for more updates from the stock market, from geopolitics to crypto to AI. And of course, we're going to be discussing SuperDApp and all the juicy news from there. But that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed. This has been Edward. All the best. Bye-bye.